Okay, so for lesson 7 here, we're going to talk about writing and naming covalent compounds, which are a little different than the ionics that we had just discussed. So covalent compounds are a nonmetal bonded to a nonmetal. What's important here is we do not use charges for the formula, and we do not crisscross, so we don't have any charges to crisscross. So basically, in order to distinguish between ionic and covalent compounds, you're looking for, if the first element's a nonmetal, the formula's got to be covalent. The first element is a metal, then it has to be an ionic compound. You must know these following prefixes throughout the year. So all the way up to 10, mono is 1, di is di is 2, tri is 3, tetra is 4, penta is 5, hexa is 6, hepta is 7, octa is 8, nona is 9, deca is 10. In order to name these, you look at the formula and assign the prefix corresponding to how many of each element appear. You name the first element by its regular name. The second one gets an "ide" ending, just like we did for the ionics. However, there are some exceptions. If the first element has 1, you don't use the prefix mono, but you use it for the second one. So to explain that a little bit more, you don't say monocarbon dioxide, it's just carbon dioxide, and not monocarbon monoxide, just carbon monoxide, okay? All right, so some more examples here. You can take a look through those. We're going to practice kind of naming some of these. So for this first compound here, we've got N3P2. So I look at that and I notice that they're both nonmetals, which tells me it is a covalent compound, and we name it systematically. So in order to name this, we look at the prefix that matches the subscript. So there's 3 nitrogens. That means we're going to use tri. So it's going to be tri-nitrogen. Hold on here. And then there are 2 phosphoruses. So it would be di for the 2, and it's phosphide. Okay. All right, we're going to skip the next one here. We're going to look at this one. So we've got S2O3. So that would be di, sulfur, trioxide. All right, and then keep going. Let's try this next one. So we'll do this one down here, SeCl2. So that'd be selenium. Notice it's not monoselenium. Okay. And then dichloride, and so forth. All right, so if we look at some of these combined problems, you need to be able to identify if these things are ionic or covalent and then name them. This is going to be important all year. So if we look at this first one here, in order to figure out this task, you're looking for 2 nonmetals or a metal and a nonmetal. Remember, a metal and a nonmetal is going to be basically on either side of the periodic table, one on the left, one on the right. Both nonmetals would be both in the upper right-hand area of the periodic table. So if we look at this first one here, you see 1 on either side. This is ionic, and it would be called calcium and chloride. Remember, you don't use the prefixes for ionic. Next one we got is covalent, and it'd be carbon dioxide, and so forth. Let's skip down a couple. Let's go to Na2O. That'd be an ionic. Sodium is a nonmetal, or sodium is a metal, oxygen is a nonmetal. So we have sodium oxide. The next one here would be covalent. We have carbon. And then we have tetrahydride. Okay, these are both nonmetals. This is also commonly called methane, if you've ever heard of that before. So give some more of these a try to make sure you're good with those. To indicate what's wrong with these formulas, you're looking for a couple of things. You're looking for charges, you're looking for the ordering, and so forth. So if we look at these here, so the first one, we have Na3Cl. So sodium and chlorine, notice that they're +1 and -1. So if we were to actually look at the charges there, it'd be +1, -1, which would crisscross just to 1 to 1, so NaCl, okay, and so forth. The next one we want to reduce whenever possible, so we're looking at MgO. We know that we should always have the positive charge or the cation first, and the anion, this one's backwards, anion, cation, we need to fix that. So NaBr, and so forth, okay? All right, so when you go through these, try to give them, try to see what's going on with them, see if you can kind of pick out what's wrong here.